Hey guys, and welcome to my review for the HGUC 1:144 scale Byarlant Custom 02. This is the Bande Dessinee Custom, and this was a Premium-Bandai online exclusive version of the Byarlant Custom. There were two different versions actually of the Byarlant Custom 2. There was the normal one, which is very light blue color, a little bit more similar to the regular Byarlant Custom. And then this one is the Bande Dessinee Custom, a Bande Dessinee version, and as you can see it's a very dark version of the color scheme. Now, speaking of the color scheme, one thing you'll immediately notice is if we can compare to the instruction booklet here, you can see there's a little bit of a color difference there. Where this kit should be black on like the big shoulders, the body, and some other areas where it should be black, it's that navy color, so that's a little bit disappointing. We got a lot of nice variation in the colors of gray, especially on the cannons here. I'll just show you quickly. There's actually 3 different colors of gray here on the cannon. The main color, and then a secondary color you can see there, and then a third color for some detail. But overall, if you can get over that color difference, which I definitely can because I'm going to be painting it eventually later, so I can forgive that bit of color difference. Ultimately, it is an awesome looking kit. It just looks great. I mean, it took the Byarlant Custom design, which I already was a really huge fan of, just the uniqueness of it, and just I don't know, the everything about it. I mean, unique isn't always good. For me, I mean, it's always just a matter of personal taste, but for me, the Byarlant Custom is just a really awesome design, and this one is even better. The huge cannons on the back, the cannons on the arms, the fact that it has hands now instead of claws, it's all really cool. So let's take a look at exactly what's different about this kit. Now, as far as the articulation of the kit, everything is the same as it was for the regular Byarlant Custom. Of course, the articulation of the new stuff is going to be a bit different, so we'll talk about that. One thing I want to point out, again, here we've got a really great looking head. The way that the visor and then the clear blue part feeds up to the top of the head into the camera there. The little bit of white up underneath on the sides of the head. Everything's looking really cool. Another cool thing about this is that all the piping that was like that light greenish bluish color, light green color on the Byarlant Custom is now just gray, so it gives the kit just a much more just toned down on the colors, but toned up on just the kind of awesome look of it. Of course, the biggest difference that you're probably gonna notice straight away is these huge cannons on the back. They're just connected via this connection here, which has, as you can see, 2 points of articulation where it connects to the backpack and then where it connects to the cannon. So you can rotate that up all the way up over the shoulder like that. It can't come so far that it goes like straight. It should go a little bit more straight, but that's fine. I mean, if it's flying, there you go, straight enough. So that's cool. Otherwise, there's no other articulation to these. It's just a kind of solid piece there, but the details, everything on that look really nice. So those are great. Then the body, this part of the arms and the legs is all the same except for this piece on the back of the foot where it was those kind of claws. It's now replaced, and just with this one piece there, which does have a little bit of movement like that to close up and open, so it gives it a bit more of a high heel look there. Then of course the other big difference is the arms. Let me move that out of the way. It's now got hands in here, this inside part where it was a beam emitter, and it's now got hands. And then it's got this big rifle, these big beam cannons here. And there's a shield on the back. What you do is you just pull that off, take out the barrel, and it actually snaps into this part very, oops, as I'm saying, yeah, it's so secure as it pops out. But it does fit in there pretty securely, usually. It's a bit loose now, I don't know why, but it is normally very secure there. I don't know, well, you just have to take my word for it. Maybe the part's coming a bit apart. Anyway, whatever. Then it fits into the front like this. To put it down like that, so it fits on like this, and there is a handle inside. If I can get it out, there is a handle there, but it can't actually hold that. I'll come back to that in a minute. So then I'll just put the shield back on. It's hard to do with one hand. I'm holding the kit with the other hand. There you go, shield's back on, and there you go. Now it's got the cannon out like that. It's nice and long. And alright, let's talk about the accessories, because that's the reason why it can't actually hold that handle. We've got hands, which is nice, and the hands are very good. I think some nice detail on the hands, and I think the size is perfect. Not too big, not too small. Here you can see we've got closed fists. So we've got a pair of closed fists for both sides. And then we've also got a pair of open hands for each side. But that's it. We've got a total of 4 hands. There is no holding hand. So you could do something like this with the open hand on the trigger or on the handle, something like that, but that's the best you can do. Basically, you're just gonna leave that handle folded in like that. And once again, of course, as you can see, these parts are moving independently of each other. So that's it. Now, let's talk about the other accessories that you're going to be getting with this kit. Stand. Guys, one thing that I'm finding a little bit frustrating about this kit, and actually the original Byarlant Custom as well, the feet seem like they should be able to stand really well, but the kit is really back heavy, even though it doesn't really seem like it should be. Of course it's got the big cannons on there, but they're kind of like sticking out over the center of the kit, so you wouldn't think it'd be that bad. But it is actually a little bit difficult to get the kit to stand. Okay, for the accessories, we've got the hands, which I mentioned, and then we've got this connection piece, which is the same connection piece that we got with the regular Byarlant Custom. It's just 2 pieces, and it fits very well onto the top of an Action Base 1. If you use this connection piece there, you can just put it on like that, and then that goes up under the crotch of the kit, and it works very well. We've also got this piece, and actually because this is on the runner that we had doubles of, we've actually got 2 of these. You really only need 1. But what this does is this allows you to connect the giant booster of the HGUC Gaplant to the back of this kit as it appeared in the manga. So if we look here back in the instruction manual, here's where it's showing you how to do that. And it's even got it in color to show you what color it's supposed to be painted as well, which is nice. So this is the spare one. The other one, I've got it already attached onto the booster here. As you can see, that's how it looks. This part is not held securely in there, sadly, but it just kind of rests there like that. And then what you need to do is take this part off of there, stick it on here like that, and then that connects up under the crotch, like that. And there you go. Now it's using that giant booster. Now what you can do is actually use the base that comes with the Gaplant for using the booster, and you can use it for this kit like that. And there is actually another part of the base that goes up under the end of there, but it's not really all that necessary. So that's pretty cool. This particular booster I'm using for my custom project, so it's not going on this guy for now, but I think in the future I'll pick up another HGUC Gaplant so that I can paint this up along with this guy and have that as an accessory for this kit, because I think that's pretty cool, and I really wish that Bandai would have included that with this kit. I wouldn't have minded paying a little bit extra to just have that. Paying a little bit more extra for this kit is better than having to buy this kit and another HGUC Gaplant, but what do you do? Another side note, speaking about the accessories of the kit, as you can see on here on the manual, it does show long beam saber as one of the accessories or one of the armaments for this kit, but we're not getting any kind of beam saber or any even beam effect parts for this kit. Now, granted, it doesn't have the beam emitters on the arms, so it doesn't have that place to put the beam sabers, but seeing as how it's here in the manual, it's a bit odd that we don't have that. Now, because this kit was basically just a recolor of the Byarlant Custom, and it just came with a couple extra runners for the new parts, that means we have basically all the parts to make the regular Byarlant Custom with this kit. Now, you can't make everything perfectly. There are some parts that you need to make this form that you can't make the extra parts totally 100%. Just for example, here's the parts that go on the back of the feet. Of course we have those, so if you liked the original Byarlant Custom's feet better, you could use these instead of the ones it's got on there. Also, of course, we've got all the parts to make the regular Byarlant Custom arm. So it's basically just this lower half of the arm that's different. So we've got everything there to make that. That's cool. So you could have one arm like the old arm and one arm like the new arm, like something like that if you wanted, or you could just use both of these if you don't like the hands. And then for the backpack, we've got all the parts basically to make the fuel tank and booster, but we don't have the polycaps for inside of here. This, I've got a polycap in there. It was a polycap, just another extra one that I had that happened to be the same one, but this one is one polycap that I don't have any extras of. So that if you've got an extra, you could use that, and then you just stick it in there, and then you've got your fuel tank. But it doesn't have the thruster bells in the bottom of there. Those parts are going onto the bottom of these cannons. So, like I said, it's not totally there. And then here, these are the parts, the center parts for the backpack. And here we've got everything to make this. We've got the polycaps and the connection piece there. So everything's there to make that. And then here's how the thrusters go on there. And if you have the extra polycap, you can make that and make the full regular backpack. And that is about it, guys. So now let's take a look at how this kit compares with the regular one. Alright guys, so here's a look at the Byarlant Custom and the Byarlant Custom 02 standing next to each other. As you can see, they're very similar looking, but the differences are very noticeable. It's very easy to notice that they're quite different backpacks, and the arms are very different. Because the arms are so unique on the Byarlant Custom, I think it's very easy to tell those apart from these a little bit more standard looking arms on the Byarlant Custom 2. Of course, they're still very strange and very unique, but at least they've got just kind of the if you look at just this main arm part, it's relatively standard looking mobile suit kind of arm, just top part, bottom part, and hand. And then of course it's got the big cannons on the back and shield and stuff, and then of course it's just so offset from the body of the kit. It's very, very unique. Of course the back of the feet is not very easy to notice, that's just kind of hidden in the back there. But otherwise, they're still going to be looking very similar, and they're still going to look very, very awesome when they're painted up and displayed together. It's going to look like a very cool set together. One thing that I wanted to check once I actually had them side by side, because I mentioned that the color of this was off where it should be black, it is actually this navy color. I was wondering if it's exactly the same navy color as on the regular Byarlant Custom. And now that I'm seeing them side by side, I think it's kind of hard to tell, but I think it is exactly the same color. So for that runner, I think they didn't even recolor the runner, they just used the same color. It's kind of hard to tell. I think that the 02 might be a little bit darker. But either way, whether it's the same or not, it's not the color that it's supposed to be, so that's a little bit disappointing. Of course, the Byarlant Custom 02 does have its own stickers, but it's only 2 stickers. You can just choose from the EFF or the EFSF logo, where the Byarlant Custom has many more stickers to choose from. So that's one difference there. And then the foil stickers are different. Here's the foil stickers for the Byarlant Custom, and here's the foil stickers for the Byarlant Custom 02. So, wait a minute, I've got that wrong, sorry. Oop, there we go. Here's the stickers for the Byarlant Custom, here's for the Custom 02. So for the Byarlant Custom, this red is just more of like a maroon, darker red, and it's got a few more extra decals, stickers on there. For the 02, it's a much more brighter red, very bright red. I'm not going to be using either of these, so if you have the Byarlant and you want this more brighter red stickers, or if you have the Byarlant 2 and you want these more maroon stickers, or if any of you guys want these stickers out there, just send me a message or leave a comment and let me know. I'll happily send these to you in the mail. This is something that I've decided to start doing. I said something about this with my silver bullet funnel test type, and I mentioned that I wasn't going to be using the stickers, and someone sent me a message and asked if they could have them. I said sure, absolutely, and sent those off to him. So yeah, in the past I usually just threw these away, but I know there's a lot of people out there who don't paint and do like to use these stickers, so if you guys want, just let me know. Obviously it's going to be first come, first serve. Whoever lets me know first, I'll drop those in the mail and send them off to you. So that's about it, guys. These kits are awesome. I just really love what they're doing with a lot of the HGUC kits these days. Especially the unicorn kits, and especially the unicorn MSV kits, like this one here. I'm totally pleased with the investment of buying this kit. You know, Premium-Bandai online exclusive kits can be a little bit more pricey, and oftentimes when they're just recolors, you kind of wonder what you're really paying for, but this one, aside from being a recolor, it's got enough parts different on it that I think the price was totally justified, and I'm really pleased with it. So if you guys like the look of this kit, definitely try to find out where you can still get one online. There's a couple last things I need to show you guys. One thing being a size comparison. Here you can see these kits compared with a regular Gundam. Obviously they're going to be much bigger, much bulkier, taller, wider, and everything, especially the Byarlant 02 there with those huge cannons sticking up. It's going to be looking massive compared to the Gundam. There is one last thing. The Byarlant Custom 02 does have a transformation. It does have another mode, so I'll transform that real quick and then show you guys what that looks like. Alright guys, so here's the Byarlant 2 in its transformed mode. It's kind of silly. It doesn't look great. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of transforming mobile suits anyway, but as you can see, basically all it is just moving the arms up, forward. You just bring the cannons down, the cannons connect into the top of the arms, stick out the cannons that are on the back of the arms, and then use the shields to press on the top and bottom, and that holds the arms together in that pose. And then of course you just bringing these backwards, pointing down the feet, and that's about it. So anyway guys, I hope that was helpful. I hope this review has been helpful for you guys, and if you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave those below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.